Hello everyone, I'm Forrest McFreelava, and this is a short little intermission-like episode of our Italian Let's Play Speed Play series. Right now, we've just managed to defeat the Germans. Our armies are all just kind of spread around everywhere. So in the next few moments, what we're going to do is attempt to just bring everybody together, more or less, see where everyone is actually located, and bring them to various ports. The reason we're bringing everyone to various ports is pretty straightforward. We are, first of all, going to need to man all the ports to prevent an American landing on us. So we'll go ahead and try to set that up, putting troops just on every single port possible. Our infantry will be on most of these French ports. Infantry may be not the best method to hold territory from an armored or mechanized advance, as we've seen when we've destroyed both German and Soviet infantry divisions trying to hold off against armored and mechanized advances. But they'll hopefully do at least a decent job of holding on to these ports so that we won't just lose them all at the first sign of Allied aggression, which would probably come fairly quickly. And we'll go ahead and just drop everybody off. Eventually it won't matter once we do launch our invasion of the United States. But for now, it's better safe than sorry. So we'll load all that up. That's a man on every single port. We'll leave the command structure kind of just back a bit, unhelpful as that may be. We'll go ahead and select 5th Army and all the infantry associated with it, and just keep filling out all of these various locations. We'll keep the Alpine infantry units, as those are actually still going to be fairly useful, despite the fact that they aren't mechanized or motorized or anything like that. So we'll just fill out what we can, even up into Denmark, where we don't really have any control right now, but we will eventually. That's the most important thing, is we will eventually have control there, so we may as well hold on to it. And with that all said and done, we don't need to actually defend anywhere in the Baltic, because at that point, the Americans actually can't get in there without controlling the strait. So we'll actually send a force over to defend the Swedes. Not that they're actually at war with the Swedes, but they might end up at war with them later on. All the rest of our forces, we will just draw back to the ports, and we'll deal with reorganizing them later. It looks as though there are even more army groups just filled with infantry and whatnot, not quite in position yet. We'll bring them down also to that port. We really want them to be at least in a somewhat convenient location. It looks as though we have even more armored units. All of these forces aren't really given orders yet, so we'll bring them over to, let's say, Calais. Or let's see, this is all 4th Army, which is a better port. Cherbourg and Brest have really nice ports, so we'll actually move them all the way over to that. Although, to be fair, if we do attempt that, we won't actually be able to get them onto ships for quite some time. So we may even send them up to these much easier to reach but slightly lower quality ports. Maybe even Rostock, as that's fairly close to everybody and also not a bad fort. Or port, not fort. Alright, so we'll move all those forces. We'll get all of 3rd Army, which is still mainly just up here. And we'll also send them over to Rostock. The general idea being to just get all of the forces we can. 6th Army, for example, also not really doing much. We'll roll them all over to here. All of these units that aren't moving up, including part of 6th Army, that one is going all the way over, so we'll deselect it. Apparently I messed that up somehow. Which unit is that? One of these units is going over to defend France. I guess it's that mechanized unit. That's interesting. Well, we'll let them do their thing. All these units, though, will go right here. And we'll deselect all of our suppression units, which we should probably be filling out. So we'll go ahead and produce several more suppression units, just as we really need that in the near future. Not rocket artillery. Actually, yes, rocket artillery. So we'll build a group of 12 of those. We'll start production now. And we'll rush them because they're going to be rather important so we don't lose all of these German territories we just acquired. And we have a roughly 666 industrial capacity right now, which is pretty nice. You could make some sort of devil reference to it if you wanted. And very quickly what we're going to attempt to do is see just how far we can get this navy to move. It looks as though we'll be able to rebase down here. So we'll go ahead, charge our navy down to here, and then just puppet all of these islands in the Indies. And we'll just do that by rushing in, declaring war on them, and seizing their capitals. I believe they should only have the one victory point. Apparently Japan is acting on our weakness and just attacking us in the Pacific. That's a bit of a problem, but not so much. And hopefully we'll be able to just sail in and take Port-au-Prince and seize San Tome and San Domingo. And if we're able to seize those areas, which may or may not work because we are very poorly supplied from Europe, if we are actually able to do this, then we'll be able to just rush straight for, and there's Yugoslav nationalists, we'll be able to just rush straight for the Panama Canal, which will hopefully trap most of the American fleet in the basically just in the Pacific, because they are invading invading Japan right now. If we take a look over there, yeah, we'll see that the Americans have nearly completed their invasion of Japan. So if we're going to win this invasion of the United States, we're going to have to cut them off as quickly as we possibly can. And that's going to mean taking over Port-au-Prince. We'll take over Port-au-Prince, which unfortunately our troops are undersupplied now, which is definitely a problem. Alright, we have met a Dutch Navy. They lost their ship. Our troops are waiting for supplies now, which is just kind of awful. Alright, since they're waiting for supplies, we can't really do anything, so we'll just rebase right here. And see, that's really going to be the issue, is how do we keep our forces supplied long enough to get them over? Could we rebase to Lisboa real quickly and get supplies like that? No, it looks... okay, wait, that might have worked. Now, very quickly, we'll try to trick the game by rebasing there. Now moving over to here. And if we can do this well, if that worked, we might have just tricked the game into letting us get away with this. And we can't declare the war, which is annoying. How about right here? We also can't declare that war. Still annoying. We can declare war on Cuba, though, so we'll go puppet the Cubans, get a friendly government there. They do have 2 victory points, which is rather unfortunate, and we can't actually get to them, which is even more unfortunate. The Netherlands, however, has their interim capital right here. Add war goal. We could puppet them, but we'll acquire the Netherlands from the Netherlands, and we'll just launch a full-on naval invasion of their territories. Let's actually not take our headquarters, though. And it looks as though we'll win that battle pretty easily, then we'll rebase there. Okay, we ran out of supplies. So once again, rebase to Lisboa. We'll wait for all of these troops to say they have supplies again. And apparently this won't last very long. But if it lasts long enough, that's all that matters. Alright, there we go. Once again, just have to rebase here, kind of just juke them a little bit. And then turn around and sail here, and hopefully we'll be able to get this done. It's kind of up in the air. Alright, we already won the battle, so there should be no forces there. And if we can just pull off this landing. We'll also take this moment to turn off mechanized warfare and also mobile warfare. Alright, it looks as though that's not actually going to be able to be done just like that. So what that means is that we're going to have to wait for our supply groups to fill out, which is just all of our, if I can find them, convoys and escorts, which will be done in September to February. So at any rate, though, we'll bring these forces back. We'll just stop them off in Lisboa. And we might be able to roll up through Iceland into Denmark and Greenland and then into Canada. Maybe we'll be able to roll through Brazil, land in Brazil, and make our way through there. It really is up in the air how we'll be able to invade the United States. But at this point, that's all we really need to do. Our forces are all roving into position so that we'll be able to seize, we'll be able to pick up our units and sell them over whenever we do get a foothold that we can actually resupply. And that might actually not be until, let's see, September or February, as we don't have convoys right now. We will, however, go ahead and just start building another group of just a very large number of supplies and convoys, or escorts and convoys, as those are really going to be the limiting factor right now. And we'll go ahead and rush all of these. It's going to take a lot of industrial capacity to rush them all, however, we have a lot of industrial capacity, so it should work out fairly well. And we'll just rush up to the ones already in progress, and rush them too, so that they will be rushed even quicker. And this is just going to be a lot of rapid fire clicking, so I'm sorry for that. Alright. And there we go. Apparently these will still only be done in February, but we'll have by September all of these convoys ready to go. And until then, we'll try to find a way that we can launch some sort of invasion somewhere against the United States and see how well that can work. At any rate, this is just kind of a short intermission style episode, as I more or less just mismanaged my time terribly. But when we come back, we're going to try to work our way into North America, and from there just launch a massive series of invasions, probably puppeting all of these Latin American countries, as I don't really know any other way we're going to get supplies in the short term. Long term, we'll have convoys and escorts, but we really want to be, well, we really want to have made progress by that point. So thanks very much for watching. Sorry this is a short one, but hopefully it shows just what we're doing and where we're going, and we're probably going to target South America next time, puppet the states there, and move into North America with a alliance block of our own. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.